Join discord.gg/flat earth and enter a VC check-in room, and someone will come along to VC verify you to get involved with the conversation about our Earth.
Enemy spotted.
Outdoorsclaimer, St. Kaleb of Axum and Soviet soldier.
Yo, what's up? Am I muted?
No, you are not.
All right.
Okay, I just want to debate stuff. Who joined?
Yo.
Speak up, outdoorsclaimer.
Liam,
Caleb.
Alright,
you sound like a fucking idiot,
debate
Liam.
night, guys.
Alright,
Let's
I'll mute
go.
myself then,
Why? Why's that?
because you're the one debating.
I mean, we could all debate, right?
Yeah,
If he's up to that.
I am.
Alright.
Got a little bit of a headache though.
Same, man, same.
Oh, welcome in, Outdoors Claimer. Kaleb of
Yo, yeah.
Axum,
Yeah.
Soviet soldier. If I missed anybody.
Yo, what's up, man?
Erwin Rommel.
What it be? What it
Erwin, thank you. Yes, thanks for joining us.
Oh, where is Erwin? Oh, there he is.
Erwin.
Erwin, speak to us.
Yeah, come on, Erwin Rommel.
He got me laughing earlier.
Alright. Okay. What do you guys claim on, like, how do you guys would the Earth is flat?
Please tell us.
Oh, also, can you send me a link to this stream?
All right, guys. So what do you got? What's your position? What are you living on? What do you think the Earth is? Why?
I think that the Earth is not a perfect sphere, but it's like still the closest thing to a globe.
Okay, so it's sort of like a potato-shaped object.
Not to that extent, no. Somewhere in between. Somewhere in between. Kind of like a little to the oval side. Let's say that.
Okay, an
Pear?
ellipsoid or a geoid or something like that. You might say.
Possibly. Sure. We'll go with that.
Are you aware of any measurements supporting this claim?
Well, what do you mean by measurements? Like, do I take the measurements, or like have I seen other measurements?
Just aware of any.
Yeah, not necessarily you, just anybody. Anybody who's measured that.
Yeah, I'm aware. Yes.
All right, which ones?
Well, there's multiple like physicists throughout the course of history who've proved of that. One of which you probably might know as Galileo, who got executed for believing that the Earth is a globe, whatever, whatnot.
I
But
don't think that's how it went down. But anyway, okay, what was his method? What did he do exactly to measure the curvature?
so, like, do you mean like by the instrument?
Yeah, like
Or,
what was the
like,
method? Like, what did he actually do to come up with this conclusion that the Earth is a ball?
Well, he used multiple instruments such as a telescope.
So he pointed the telescope at the sky.
Well, yeah, and then you measure the trajectory of other planets and your own planet. Well, you can't really measure that, but you can calculate them. You can calculate the measurement. Not the
So
measurement.
that's the
trajectory.
thing that we'd be looking for a measurement of, though, right? And so
A
that would be
trajectory,
very
right?
that
A
would be
trajectory of other planets around you, and the sun and other stars.
That would be
Sir.
begging the question.
Yeah. It'd be begging the question. So you're presupposing the very thing in question there, which would be the Earth being a planet, being a ball, a globe-shaped object in the vacuum of space. That's
Well,
the
no,
thing.
no. If you look at the sky, wait, who's echoing? I can hear myself. Anyways, so if you look at the sky, you look out throughout the course of time, the trajectory of other planets.
Begging the question.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Well, you're presupposing the thing in question there. right? The thing in question would be the Earth being this ball-shaped object in a vacuum of space, i.e., a planet, right? So to say other planets, you're already assuming your conclusion, right?
Well,
You're
you
already
can't just
assuming.
have you can't just have like 4 balls and a disc. They all have to be the same shape. 1, 2.
So
Gravity just makes it. Hold on.
so let's put it like this.
Gravity just makes it completely impossible for it to be flat.
Okay, so let's put it like this. How do you know that the Earth is a planet?
Well, we've seen it. We've measured it.
Yeah, that's what
There's
I'm asking for.
pictures of it.
The measurements.
Galileo.
Also, you're echoing, or whoever is echoing.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering what the measurements were. You said we've measured it. That's how we know. What are the measurements? What was done?
Okay, but what was your claim on the Earth being flat? How do you know that the Earth is flat?
I haven't made a claim. I was just asking you what you think the Earth is. You made a claim, and now I'm just asking what the
Okay, then
evidence is.
what do you think the Earth?
Yeah, but okay, so is this a concession then? Are we done with your claim of it being a globe?
Oh, we'll get to that later. I want to hear yours.
Well,
I want to
that's
hear
what we're already on, though.
Yeah, because you
Yeah,
asked mine. Now I'm asking yours. Now it's my turn.
Well, no, it's not because we still haven't got the evidence for yours.
Yes, it is.
It's not because we're still in the middle of your claim here. We're looking for the evidence part now.
Yeah.
So what would the
Hold on,
measurement be? Is there not a measurement? Is that why we have to get off this topic as soon as possible?
What do you mean by that?
Well, is there no measurement supporting the claim that the Earth is a ball in a vacuum of space? Because it seems like if there was, right? Hold on. If there was, when you say that there is one, we could easily just talk about that instead of going, "Well, what do you think it is?" and trying to get off the topic. You know?
Uh-huh. And have you ever watched a lunar eclipse by any chance?
Yeah.
Yeah. What does that look like?
It looks like the moon getting eclipsed.
Yeah. By what?
I'm not sure. What do you think?
Yeah, you tell me, because I know what it is. I want to hear your claim on it. What do you think a lunar eclipse would be?
I don't know what the causal mechanism for it is.
Do you know what shadow is what is casting its own shadow?
Oh shit! You're saying it's a shadow. So how would you know that it's a shadow?
What would you define as the lunar eclipse? What would you define that as?
I would say that the moon gets eclipsed. You're saying that it's a shadow.
Wait,
How do you know it's a shadow?
How?
Seems to get dimmer. And
Yeah,
change
how?
colour.
That's the question. I said I don't know, right?
Okay, so you don't know.
No, I don't know. But it sounds like you have an idea. You say that it's a shadow.
What about a solar eclipse? What about a solar eclipse? Do you know how that works?
Jumping around. Now we're jumping around. You started with lunar eclipse. Let's follow that to its logical conclusion.
Okay. So,
Right. It's a shadow of what?
Hold on, who's echoing? I'm literally hearing myself. Anyways, so do you know what okay, hold on. Because that's part of my claim on the Earth being a globe.
Yes,
the
we
lunar eclipse.
understand. Yeah, I'll just pull you up there. Yes, we understand what a lunar eclipse is claimed to be, and what a solar eclipse is claimed to be.
Yeah,
within
Einstein.
the heliocentric
Claimed,
idea.
and what? Okay, if it's claimed to be, then what's the real meaning of a lunar eclipse?
Oh, brother.
Falsification is independent of replacement. We don't need to provide you with an alternative fantasy once we've ruled out the one that you've claimed.
What?
We don't need to replace your story.
Okay, so what's the real story then?
We can just stop there. There's no burden on us to come up with an alternative story, right? And say, no, it's actually this. It's Rahu or Ketu that is
so now you're just refusing to elaborate.
No.
You're just refusing to elaborate.
No, I am elaborating on what I've already told you, which is that we don't have a claim about what causes it, but you do, so we're trying to get to the evidence of that claim.
Yeah, it's the Earth.
Yeah, and the claim is. I will detail what the claim is. Right. The claim is that there's 3 physical bodies in outer space: the sun, the Earth, and the moon. The Earth passes in between the sun and the moon, and it occults the moon, causing a shadow, a penumbra and an umbra, an umbra. Sorry, a penumbra and umbra. There's a 3-bodied alignment.
Yeah, go on.
Is that pretty much it? Is that pretty much it? That's the claim? That's the claimed cause of the lunar eclipse?
Do you know what a umbra and a penumbra is?
So you've got the sun casting convergent sun rays at the Earth, causing two kinds of shadows, right?
Well,
You-
there's one kind of shadow and there's two types. So one shadow with two like subdivisions, you could say.
There's one type of
Right,
shadow
you've
and
got-
two types of shadow.
No, there's one
You've
shadow.
got a more intense.
the
You've
shadow
got your
of
more
one
intense
object.
shadow, and on the on the outer, you've got your less
Yeah.
intense shadow. Is that correct? Right.
Yeah. It's the shadow of one object. It's a
Right. So
subdivision
what's the evidence for this claim?
that shadow that an object, when there's a shadow casted on it, there's another penumbra.
Object.
That
Okay, I'm tracking with you. It's the shadow of an object, that object being the globe Earth?
Yes.
Okay, who measured it to know that that object exists and is thus capable of casting a shadow in outer space?
What do you mean who measured? It's the Earth. We are on it.
Right, so who measured it to know that it's a ball capable of casting the type of shadow that you claim it is during a lunar eclipse?
Multiple people.
Okay,
Multiple.
let's start with any.
What do you mean?
Let's start with any.
Okay. I'll start with one person I know, Kharazmi. Do you know who that is?
No, enlighten me.
Okay. So Kharazmi, he was a physicist during like the 13th century, around then, and he proved that the Earth was a globe. Also, ancient peoples, the Mayans, the ancient Mayans, they
Wait, don't jump around. Don't jump. We're on Kharazmi, right? Kharazmi was a physicist.
You're not even
I
pronouncing his
was
name
with
right.
you as far as Kharazmi was a physicist in the 13th century. What did Kharazmi do to measure the globe?
He measured the trajectory of the Earth, the trajectory of the Moon, the trajectory of the Sun, the trajectory of Saturn, the trajectory of Jupiter. He put them all together, and when you put all those together, the only logical result, the only logical solution is that the Earth is a globe.
Well, that's not true.
How is that not true? How is that not true?
So that's not a measurement of the globe.
Cosmologists would disagree.
That's a bare assertion. It seems like you're forgetting about Ptolemy and epicycles and all that sort of stuff, which work fine.
Okay.
That would just be an interpretation of the motions of heavenly bodies.
Okay, how do you guys
Listen, outdoors claimer. It's not what I asked you for. What you're giving me is a guy from the 13th century's interpretation of the motions of heavenly bodies. That's cool and all. Interpretations are cool and all, but they're not what we asked for. Hold on.
They're reports.
Hold on. I'm
They're
not asking for some.
They're not interpretations.
I'm not asking for
it's concrete evidence.
Hold on, outdoor, whatever. I'm not asking for a 13th century physicist's interpretation of what he saw in the sky. I'm just asking for direct measurements of the globe, which you say must exist if the things in the sky do what they're observed to do. So who done that?
And I'm going to ask you for direct measurements of the Earth being a disk or whatever you believe in.
That would be a burden reversal, and plus you're also reversing the burden.
Okay, you did the same to me.
Hold on.
You did the same to me. You did the same to me. No, you did the same to me.
Hold on. You're reversing the burden onto me for a claim that I haven't even made. And I told you this up front, that we're not saying it's a disk, right? So why would I be here trying to prove one?
Okay, okay, let's go to another one.
Listen to this guy.
Okay, you guys take over for a sec. I gotta go get my dinner.
You're denying. You're completely
Outdoors,
denying
this is what
all my evidence.
This is what happens when you screw around in the DC.
You're blatantly refusing to listen to me, so I'm gonna blatantly refuse to listen to you.
We've heard you, pal.
I'm giving you a taste of your own medicine.
You said that a guy
Get a
looked at
bigger spoon.
some motion of some celestial body, what he presumes are bodies, right? Physical bodies. He witnessed the trajectory, so-called, right, of motion of stars, right? And then he presupposed that he was also standing on a body in some void, right? That's like things that he imagines the things in the sky are. And then extrapolated from that, using mathematics, to determine that he's on a ball. And we're asking for just a direct measurement of the physical.
With all the reports you get, with all the reports you get, with all the trajectories, the only logical solution is that no, the sun is not revolving around you. You are revolving around the sun. furthermore proving,
modern
and
cosmologists.
a few centuries later, you got Einstein coming along with his theory of relativity, right? Or Newton.
You don't want to go there.
Explaining.
You don't want to go there because Einstein actually said that there is no optical way to determine whether it's the Earth moving or the things in the sky.
Okay, what
moving,
about space station? What about photos from the space station? Is that also
we're not gonna hop, skip, and jump
one thing,
10 miles.
dude.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna stay on the one thing. All right. So the natural consequence of what you're saying, your 13th century friend determined, right, would be a curvature to the Earth, a drop over distance, right? We're told that the Earth has specific dimensions, right? Specific radius, diameter, circumference.
We've measured it.
How? Measured it.
All right, I'm sorry to say it, but I've been listening for about 10 minutes here. This guy is either extremely stupid or he's just trolling people. Because there's no way that someone could be this stupid.
Or you're just making wild assumptions about people and being completely disrespectful while I'm trying to have a civil debate.
You haven't made a single fucking comment that made any sense, dude.
Quiet.
Well, you're a fucking idiot. You believe the Earth is a fucking disc? You fucking moron. You believe we're on a fucking flat board. You believe we're on a fucking surfing board? You fucking moron. You believe we're on a vinyl disc?
I never said anything like that. I'm listening for a single comment that you're trying to make that makes any valid sense at all.
All right.
So we were just waiting
on it. What are we? Do we live in a fucking dome? Do we live in a semicircle like a fucking idiot?
Relax.
To a
Outdoors.
point where you claim that we've measured this so-called curvature, right?
Yeah.
You claim that we've measured this curvature. And there was a long pause, a long silence. So can we get back to that? Do you know of any way that we can go out and do the same thing and measure it so that we can know for ourselves?
If the Earth was flat, you wouldn't have mountains, would you? You wouldn't have hills, would you?
What happened to this measurement?
Would you?
Drop the cap.
You said we've
If
measured
the Earth is flat, if the Earth is flat, how does the water not fall off?
Flat means no.
If the Earth is flat, the Earth is flat, then insert stupid straw man here is not a direct measurement of Earth curvature. You said we've measured this Earth curvature. I'm asking you how we've measured it.
Well, we have measuring instruments. We can measure shit, kilometers.
Wow.
That people use that.
Anyone
or
else?
You Americans use miles.
Hey, it's St. Kaleb. You ready? This guy's derailed himself.
Yeah. You guys are all crazy out
Yeah,
there.
this is turning into a dumpster
someone say
fire
my
real
name?
fast.
What happened?
I don't know. Someone called you saying
Your friend is coping.
Sounds like all you've got is some
flat earther,
ideas
man.
about.
What the fuck are you on, buddy?
I haven't been listening, I'll be honest.
What about this, Dub? What about this? You know the North and South Pole, right? We measured it from there. How about that, dumbass?
No, bro. The South Pole is a fucking wall. It's a fucking wall around us. You didn't know that?
Oh yeah. It just doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist according to these guys.
Fellas, relax.
Hey,
Just tell us how it was measured. It's not a big deal. Go ahead. Just let us know.
How?
Well, if you go over the wall, you'll be instantly transported to the other side of the Earth.
That's an excellent measurement.
There's no such thing as North or South Pole anymore.
Do you have measurements for these poles? The curvature to them? Where are you at?
Do you have measurements for your so-called flat Earth?
Yeah, of course I do. You can take an elevation angle to a celestial object. You can have flat for thousands
You've
of miles.
clearly never been on an airplane. You've clearly never been on an
Can
airplane.
you see the curvature from an airplane?
Sasu.
Yes, I have. I travel a lot. I have.
No, you have not. You've never seen the curvature because at 30 to 40,000 feet,
there's no
you can't.
curvature
I've seen it with my own eyes, dude. I've seen it with my own.
No, you didn't.
No, you did not.
Military aircraft can't see it at 65,000 feet, and at 120,000 feet is where the Red Bull Stratus reach. It's flat there, and at 300,000 feet, it's fucking flat. No, you did not. You're a liar. You imagined it.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I'll clarify it for this guy right now. I jump out of the fucking things. There is no curve from an airplane. Thank you.
Let me just speak, okay? Let me just speak for 1 second. The North and South Pole, they have the magnetic field around them. Scientists have created devices to measure the distance from each side, indicating there is a curve between both poles. And
You just told us a fairy tale. Can you prove any of what you just said, or is that just a story you made up?
really, I've
Yeah,
never
just
heard
give
of
us some evidence for the claim that you just made. It just sounds like a story.
Have you heard of a compass before?
Of course, you have to hold them flat for them to work. Isn't that interesting?
Yes, you hold them flat in your hand. Then, of course, the little arrows inside it, they go north and south.
Yeah,
The
because the
magnetic
north is
field.
where the magnetic attraction is at. So for thousands of miles, you have to hold the compass flat to find the north. Isn't that interesting?
Yes, so that means North Pole and South Pole are real, which indicate a magnetic field between them, indicating a curve which scientists have finally found out.
So you
You ever
hold
seen
the
a ring
compass
magnet?
flat, and that tells you that it's curved? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, have you ever seen a ring magnet?
Magnetic field around them. That's how you can tell.
You're making up a story, bro. You don't have evidence for your claim.
So you would say indicate curvature. So that would be an inference of curvature, right? So do you have a direct measurement of that curvature to confirm that inference?
Almost every time.
Because you're inferring it, you're thinking, well, you're interpreting, you say, from magnetic field lines that there must be curvature of the Earth. Well, has somebody directly measured it to confirm that inference?
Yes, almost
Who?
everyone.
Okay, give me anybody then. Should be
Scientists
easy
around
to
the
just pick.
world.
Yeah. Sorry, what was that?
Let's see, we got NASA, satellites. What about NASA?
So
The
satellites.
satellites
That's what,
from NASA.
so you're gonna go with satellites.
No, get this. You know how your phone works?
Okay, so I feel like I'm not getting a measurement of Earth curvature.
Right.
You're not.
Yeah.
Getting a begging the question fallacy again.
Can I interrupt for a second? Do
No,
you guys
these are red herrings. They're just trying to steer the conversation away from what the question actually is.
Yeah, I know what he's doing.
Let's see what. We haven't heard from Saint yet, so Saint Kaleb might actually have something a bit more
No, I just
coherent
want to
to
go a
us.
little bit off topic. Do you believe that like NASA's legit?
Yeah. Is it?
This is kind of like my own personal question.
Well, we know they exist as a so-called agency.
Like, do you believe what they like the information they put out is like accurate?
What kind? Be specific. What kind of information?
Let's say moon landing, for example.
Impossible.
All right. Yeah, that was my question.
Not going to ask why.
I was curious because I hear a lot of people conflicted on this issue. So, like, I personally don't believe the moon landing is real for the time.
Why is that?
I believe that because what's it called again?
Technology was bad. My
Like,
opinion.
I believe that the Americans just said that because of they want to win the what's it called again, the space race against the Soviet Union.
Soviet Union, yeah.
Portray like an image of dominance and
Yeah, I guess
superiority.
you could say. I have a video that does a better justice at explaining it. I'm not the best in explaining it, but I would just want to hear you guys' point of view.
Are you talking about the moon landing specifically, or are you going to just steer that towards something else rather than trying to answer the previous questions? I'm sorry, I don't know who I'm talking to at the moment, but there was like 5 or 6 questions asked in a row.
No, I wasn't even involved.
Nobody was asking those questions or answering the questions. I'm sorry. I need to look at chat and see who's actually.
There were a lot of questions scattergun there, which seemed to be just for the purpose of taking us off of the direct globe measurement that everybody, well, globers say that has been done but never provide.
Right, and something that's been happening that I've been listening to right now is like if I ask someone just sort of an arbitrary question like, "Oh, what is your favorite kind of pie?" and he's like, "Well, what's your favorite kind of pasta?" You're not even
Yeah.
trying to answer the question. You're diverting the question with a red herring. It
But
has
see,
nothing to do.
that would be a simple, easy question to answer that most people would just give you a straight answer to. They wouldn't be diverting like this constantly, which shows us that your claim is kind of sus, don't you think, Glovers?
Hey,
Well,
how about this?
outdoors claimer claimed that there was a direct measurement done. Then gave us, when I asked for the method, he just gave us instruments and stuff. Soviet Soldier was just asked by you, and he couldn't give us any method. I was wondering if St. Caleb has an
I
idea of
didn't.
that.
No, I didn't. I gave you God proven.
What does that mean?
Wait, did someone say my name?
God proven? Did you say God proven?
No. I kept saying that scientists from NASA and all the space agencies from around the world use the satellite
How? What was
around
the
the globe.
method?
No,
That's the method.
around the globe to go up
What
in
globe?
space.
What globe? Measured how? How did they measure it in the first place to know that there was a globe to put
The
satellites in
magnetic,
orbit of?
the magnetic field around the Earth. The
That would be an
magnetic
inference
field
on
from
your
the
part,
North and
right?
South Pole.
Yeah,
All right,
okay, so okay, but that's not a
everyone's
direct measurement. We already did this. You already tried this, though. That wouldn't be a direct
All right,
measurement.
how about this? No North and South Pole. That means no magnetic field. That means we would not have any planes. We would not have any compasses. You would be lost in a forest, and then
Okay.
forest flat
Okay.
Earth
So
would
if
be
the Earth isn't a ball, I'm going to be lost in a forest. I wouldn't be able to navigate the
no.
Earth. Is that what you're saying?
Compass, yeah, you wouldn't.
Okay.
How many straw mans did he just make in a row? Was it like 3 or 4?
So
Okay, if that's the case, then you're saying that in order
Magnetic
for us to
field.
listen, you're saying that in order for us to practically use the Earth, that it must be a ball, right? So if that's the case,
The
then it
Earth
is a
is a
ball.
globe because
If
of the
that's the
magnetic
case,
field
if
around
that's it, hold on. If that's the case, then it can be directly measured as such. Who's done it?
the magnetic field around the globe.
Yeah, you've been saying this on loop. I'm asking for the direct measurement now.
You wanna what? It varies around the world because of every single goddamn.
Okay, it varies, but I haven't gotten one, let alone multiple measurements to having it vary.
You've been asking them questions, like very direct questions, and they're just beating around the bush, trying to
Yeah.
avoid it every which way they possibly can.
Yeah, in order for the measurement to vary, there would have to be multiple measurements, and I haven't even gotten one. So can we start with
Just
any,
give us
please?
the mean. Give us the average or something. That'll do.
Okay.
Yeah, where's the direct
fields.
measurement of the drop over distance? You're saying that this thing that we're standing on is a
want it?
ball, must have a specific rate of curvature
actually
given the
want it?
size. Yeah,
You
we
guys
do. That's why I'm asking. Yes, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, direct measurement of drop over distance.
Okay. The circumference of the Earth.
Do you even know?
So now you're going to give us the circumference. So that would be the number, right? That would be the number. We're asking for the measurement that number was that number was achieved through.
That is the measurement.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
That would be a
This is
number.
the
What was the
measurement.
measurement that you got that number
That's
from?
the result, right?
How was it determined? Give us the method they got to procure that number.
Yeah, that exactly.
You can say the number all day, but just I can say fucking any number I like.
No time for you idiots. I have no time for you idiots.
Right, don't do that. Come on, man. Just
Okay,
then-
just give us the method. Don't have to attack us.
He's
Well,
gone. He's gone.
Yeah, he tapped out.
He's
Okay,
gone.
well, who can
Really?
step in for him? Who's left to step in for him? He
That
tapped
was
out.
sad.
He's gone. Can I step in for a moment? The Earth is a globe because NASA told me, and I saw it on TV. Therefore,
I agree.
Yeah, in so many words, basically. Yeah. Well, I don't know who that was that we were just talking to, but they gave up. So would anybody want to take their place and try to provide that measurement that we've been asking for? Should be a pretty simple thing to do if this globe is as much of a foregone conclusion as you guys all seem to think it is. So come on, help us out.
You know, a lot of globes, like it would be just so easy to say, hey man, I don't know. You know, I just believe what they told me, what they told us, what they told everybody. It's okay to say that, but no, they want to fucking, trying every little thing, and then in the end, guess what? he called us idiots.
It seems to be
So-
very
Soviets
difficult
bad.
to do that. If that was the case, everyone would say it, but they all have to fall back to just ad-homs, and the silence is deafening. If they can't figure anything out, then it's just
Or
turns
just
into attack.
repeat the
Ad-homs is
same
very
nonsense
terrible.
claim
Yeah.
over and over
You
again.
guys want the numbers and stuff?
Yeah, the numbers.
Yeah,
And we
we
need to
go.
hear the numbers again. That's what
Oh,
we need. Yeah.
he actually left and Googled it real quick, and he came back with the information. Go for it.
Yeah, bro.
Is he
All
back?
right.
This is sick.
Just listen.
He's back. He's
You
back,
guys,
baby.
just listen. You want me to speak or not?
Yeah,
For
please.
sure. Go, man.
But
All right.
speak of the measurements that we're asking for, please. Let's speak to that. Let's stay to the topic.
The average diameter of the Earth.
Okay. This would be the
This-
number claim again.
yeah,
We're asking for the measurement by which that number was determined.
Well, hold on. He just
An
said
orbiting
average.
spacecraft determined all of this. With
Because
all
they're
of NASA's
multiple,
supercomputers.
allegedly.
You idiot.
So that you say that they have an orbiting spacecraft?
You guys know NASA. You guys know it all. So
Okay, so you're saying that they have an
What-
orbiting
what-
spacecraft?
yes.
Okay, to have orbital mechanics of a globe, right? To be able to get something to orbit a globe, the first number you're
Yeah.
going to need is
You guys
r.
know
That would
the
be the
internet.
radius, right? That would be the radius that you keep talking about. So they would have to have that first in order to do any orbital mechanics to have anything orbit it, right? So who measured the globe in the first place before they were able to get satellites orbiting the globe?
They didn't. They shot this. Hey, you guys have no common sense whatsoever. You guys got no brain, no.
So they
common
didn't. They didn't measure it first. So they're just shooting in the dark.
But you're the guy who can't tell us what they did, specific details, determine these sizes that you're giving us, numbers. You're just spitting out. Satellites, orbits. You don't have anything.
Hey,
Shut
Soviet
You're
up.
calling us
soldier,
dumb.
Soviet soldier. Explain this. I'm gonna post the live stream. Explain it. Is that
How
thing
can
in
I when
space?
you guys keep
Is
talking
that
over me?
stop it? Is that thing in space?
Yes.
Yes. What are those olds there at the top doing there? You trust
Sorry, what?
NASA? You trust NASA? What is those at the top? Can you see? This was made inside a building. Okay, you just trust NASA. Trust fake.
What? So all you were saying
Bet
is
you-
that NASA's
No,
fake.
stop your NASA bullshit. Okay.
I bet you couldn't even repeat what Heretic just asked you.
Yeah, what did I ask you?
I couldn't hear it because Miguel, the Russian
Before
guy.
Before Miguel started speaking, Heretic asked you something. Your answer was, "Yous
How
are
they
just
got it
dumb."
up there? How the NASA got it up there?
Sort of, but not
I don't
quite.
know. I don't know. Maybe they strapped it to a rocket and just shot it up there, saying, "Let's go up in space." How about that? Think with
Hell
your
yeah,
brain
baby.
for once.
Yeah. Prove space. Can you have gas pressure without a container? Prove it. Give us an experiment. Prove it.
Yeah. Well, in order to have the orbital radius, how much fuel to use, all these different things, the primary figure that they need, the first thing that they need is r, the globe radius. That's the number one thing that they need in order to do any of these calculations that you're talking about to have orbits, right? So that would have to have been established first. There would have to be some direct measurement of the Earth, right, in order to derive that figure. So what would that measurement be?
You guys are idiots.
There's NASA, a scuba diver in space. Look at. There's NASA. Just fairy tales. Bubbles in space.
Yeah. And that would be the other thing that we would need is confirmation of the near perfect outer space vacuum in the first place as well. So we need proof of the globe. We need proof of the near perfect vacuum medium that they say that they're having orbits in. All sorts of claims on the table, but we'll just start with the globe because that's number one.
All right. How about this? To get the radius measurement you guys so wanted, They shot the orbit, their little spacecraft up there, just to get the radius. Then they shot more up there so they can get all the other measurements.
Well, where are they going to get the orbital radius of that thing that they're shooting into orbit without the globe radius to start with?
They shot it up first without. You guys are just idiots.
Without knowing?
Oh, there it goes.
So they just
Adhom.
they
There we
just
go. Another one.
sprayed and prayed. Just shot it up there and hoped that they had things right.
That is what that is what he ended up claiming. Yeah.
You flat earthers are such idiots. There's 3 rovers and a chopper on Mars.
I am a dum-dum. I'll take that one.
They just shot it up there to know how far they needed to shoot it up there in order for it to be in orbit.
I'm actually kind of curious. Like, if the next Glober comes in, I've written hundreds and hundreds of flat Earth, NASA, fake space trivia questions. I'd be interested if I can ask them with like a multiple choice to see if they can get them right.
Perfect. Do that. Oh, we've lost him.
That's kind of
a lot of them I already sent to Dave Weiss, and they're on his app for his trivia section. But I mean, you can just pull up the app and go on there and check out a lot of those questions. But I mean, I have them pulled up right now. I can look at them and just read them out loud.
Is there like D, you're an idiot in all of them?
What?
So,
I think that would be just the only good one that we require.
So, any Globers here noticing just how easily stumped your fellow Globers are at the most remedial questions about their claim?
Yeah, so it gets really bad because it's like, can you say, how far is a kilometer? How about you tell me how a kilometer is? It's like, what?
It's
very telling.
A super simple question, though. The globe. Who measured it and how? That's all we're asking. And you guys literally can't provide an answer. It should be a super trivial thing to do if there is an answer. But
So telling.
We still
you guys call us names, fire out of the chat.
All right, so here's a question for everybody. This is just a random one I looked at on my like 7 different pages of questions I have written. This is number 15 on page 2. What is the name of the phenomenon where ships appear to be floating above the horizon? It's 1. What is that? A is inferior mirage. B is refraction. C is superior mirage. Or D is diffraction. And come on, flatties, don't let me down on this one. All right, it's inferior mirage, in refraction, superior mirage, or diffraction. So it's when ships appear to be floating above. Oh, here we go.
Can I phone a friend?
Okay, it's above. It's a superior mirage. It's when they float up above. That's what they look like. You take any.
You missed Fata Morgana when you were rattling them off. Yes.
Well, that's actually
yes, superior mirage. We get it. I thought you were supposed to be asking the Globies.
Well, I was, but I was asking. I don't know if there's any Globies here anymore. But yes, a Fata Morgana.
Yeah, there is one.
Technical name.
There is one actually. Saint Kaleb.
Yeah, we still have Saint.
Oh.
And we've also got Mr. Doublefingers, who doesn't have any roles as well. I don't know if we'd like to unmute him here and do a check-in here, or send him up to the VC check-in.
Do it here.
Doublefingers, if you'd like to head up to VC check-in 1, we can do a short interview with you to give you some VC perms. If you'd like VC perms, but if not, then you're welcome to just remain in here and listen. You won't be able to speak.
All right, and these are some basic questions that I have. So another Globy question that I know this is not actually easy for a lot of people, but what is the alleged circumference of the moon? Is it 2,189 miles, 3,450 miles, 5,211 miles, or 6,786 miles? Circumference, not diameter, not radius.
It's supposedly a quarter the size of the Earth.
Which would be?
Well, the one that begins with 6,000, I guess.
6,786 is correct. There you go. This is how you can learn about this yourself, is to write trivia questions and then challenge people on the information that they don't have a fucking clue about.
Just make sure you get them right, because the last one you gave multiple choice, and Fata Morgana was not one of your options, which would technically be the correct answer.
Well, I mean, if you look it up, a superior mirage is a Fata Morgana. It's just
Fata Morgana is a version of the.
So they would have got bonus points.
Well, that's a question like on a different page that I have. So,
Any Glober left? I think Kaleb is still here. They all tapped out that easily. Come on. Pathetic showing, guys. Step it up.
Yeah. St. Caleb he didn't come across as, quite as arrogant and staunch.
Yeah.
So I think we could actually have a decent conversation with Caleb. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Say you, St. Caleb.
Yo, mention my name? Yeah. Can anyone hear me?
You
Loud and clear.
You
5 by
seem
5.
less the triggered type than the two other guys that were in here. So
Honestly, I don't even debate about this topic too much. Like, I was just here because they wanted me to listen to the debate, so I just came here.
What's your prognosis of the conversation? Do you think they presented anything logical?
To be honest, I wasn't really listening too much. I just heard a bunch of people. Was it a 1v1? I wasn't really paying attention too much. I heard a lot of people talking. Yeah, what happened?
Are you in the same room with your friends, or are they?
No.
Okay. You've hung around, so obviously, like, it piqued your interest or your curiosity or something. You have any questions?
Honestly, I was talking with someone else the whole time, so I wasn't really. I heard some parts of it, like when my other friend entered in, and I heard a bunch of people just talk about it. I heard it like flip flop quite a bit.
So, what is your favorite and most credible proof of the globe?
I don't even know myself. I don't really debate too much.
It's not a debate. It's just a question.
Question? I don't really have one in particular. I mean,
leads you to believe that you live on one?
But I don't 100% put my trust in NASA. So
That's good though, because you're at least being honest about where you stand. Whereas the other guys wanted to go ahead and claim a measurement that they didn't have or know anything of, right? So they couldn't tell us what it is. At least you're just telling us honestly, like I don't know, which is appreciated.
Yeah, well,
absolutely.
As a Christian, I kind of examine the Bible when it says about it, and I see various different arguments. So I'm even conflicted on that as well. So.
Well, you should have been here last night when I was having a conversation. It got really into like religion and spirituality, and then multiple people were sending me links and also into the Discord chat about all of the Bible references that talk about flat Earth.
Yeah, it makes quite a few.
I'm sorry, say again?
It makes quite a few talks about what's called the Earth. Many try to say that it's flat and then it's round, like because it's kind of hard to biblically translate it. So,
well, I'm not Christian.
We know absolutely that for certain that the ancient culture, the ancient Hebrew culture, had a cosmological view of a flat, motionless, and enclosed Earth. Like academia will even tell you that. Historians learn this at universities.
Well, I think it's all religious scripture, regardless of which faith you're going to be following. They all say it.
But we're
particularly, in one way or the other.
Absolutely, but we're just particularly talking about the one culture at the moment. But yeah, absolutely, ancient cultures all across the plane all had that cosmological view.
Yeah, I've seen something about it being round. I didn't examine too much of it. I just kind of seen the source. You mind if I send it in case you guys could talk about it?
Who is
actually more interested
speaking there? I just need to reference him just so I can say thank you for a moment.
I think was me.
Oh, Kaleb. Okay. Well, at least you're being honest with your convictions in a certain type of a sense, and you're not just coming out making blanket statements that have no validation whatsoever or measurements or anything like that. So, at least I think you're open-minded enough to the point where you can at least change your mind and understand why you're here, questioning the physical shape of where we're living.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, look, those other guys? Are those your gaming friends or something?
No, they actually do debates a lot, but I don't think they really debated too much on the. It's more against like religions and history.
Debate with you about the moon landing?
It sounds
Sorry,
like
say
they
that
like
again.
to, you know what I mean? That's not really what debating is. Debating, you know what you're talking about. They didn't really seem to know what they were talking about. So some people just like to
No,
argue.
they didn't.
Not
To
what
be
we're
honest,
about.
I'm gonna make a
But
claim
we
that.
appreciate you, Caleb, man. You checking out the live stream text as well, right?
Yeah, I think so. I was talking to a Christian guy. He was pretty nice.
Do those friends of yours
Hello?
do they debate? Do they debate with you about the moon landing? Because you said you don't believe the moon landing was real.
No, they kind of. I think they agree with that. Like I said, we don't know too much about that topic in particular. It's usually about like religion, history. Yeah, sorry, go on.
I just find it strange. Well, your stance was, I'm not really too trusting of NASA anyway to be able to use them as a proof. But they were too. They were all too happy to throw NASA in there. Well, NASA measured it with their satellites. Oh, but they didn't go to the moon, but they did. They did measure Earth with satellites, right? I just found that a bit hypocritical.
Is that what they were saying?
Yeah. They were using NASA as a proof.
And Caleb, if you've never seen it before, just to help validify a little bit of what your belief is with NASA, there are astronauts like Buzz Aldrin, for example, who is on camera saying, "We didn't go there."
Yeah, no, I saw those. Yeah,
Right. So
yeah, he said we didn't go there. He said that quite a few times, I believe.
it does take a lot of research and a lot of patience to actually get into this, because people go through cognitive dissonance, and it's like a psychological disorder that people have to deal with when they find out they've been lied to about something that is as significant as where we are actually currently living. So I will say, hey, fist bump to you, but I think you're probably on the way to joining the team.
Maybe. But I'm gonna be honest. When they joined here, I'm gonna make an assumption here. I think they were assuming that this was gonna be easy because usually the people that comment in their TikToks about flat Earth, like they don't seem educated. So I guess they went into here thinking that it was gonna be like they were gonna have an easy time here and whatnot. But
I was
guess
gonna
not.
ask him about that because he said that in the check-in. He said that he's sick of these flat earthers on TikTok. I wanted to ask him specifically what was it he'd encountered on TikTok from flat earthers that he disagreed with, but I didn't get a chance.
Honestly, I haven't been checking his videos and I haven't seen any flat earthers, but I assume it probably was there was like a disc, like it was just flat disc, and there was like probably had something to do maybe with Australia. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, that's the problem,
But I
is there's
was
a preconceived notion from what we were told, like when we were 10 years old, from looking at like early science books, that the Earth is still floating in space and that there's an edge to it. But in reality, there's never been any proof of that whatsoever. And before I have to mute and get back to class, there's another guy. There's two of them that are on TikTok. One of them's name is also Kaleb, and it's Kaleb and Derek, and they do a lot of really great streams in regards to this, and they debate everybody in regards to globe Earth. And I might, kind of steer you towards that because I'm outside of the age range, and I'm 40 now, so I've never actually been on TikTok except for like once or twice. But might want to check them out. Kaleb and Derek.
Caleb and Derek. All right.
I've got a few
Caleb,
members here that have just started up on TikTok as well. So have a look at our social media page. Social media links. Is it? What's it called? Yeah, social media links channel. Have a look in there. I'm not sure if They've been posting their TikTok accounts in there, but worth looking at.
All right, I'll take a look.
And also in regards to like biblical flat Earth and that kind of thing, if you're not aware of some of the biblical flat Earth people that there are, I mean, they're very plentiful on YouTube. But even though I've been here multiple days in a row, but I noticed that Austin Whitsitt is one of the moderators in here, and I've never seen him in here, but I have spoken with him. So you might want to maybe check in with him or check his stream on YouTube or different platforms he's on. So he's extremely knowledgeable and wrecks people when it comes to actual debates.
Wait, so he's a Christian who believes in flat Earth?
Oh yeah, he's
bro, there's a
definitely
lot.
hardcore. Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of us here. We tend to not get into that in the live stream because we can prove that the Earth is flat without having to use the scripture. But I mean, there's a good percentage of us that absolutely know and use the scripture and can use that in debates as well. But we tend to hit them with science since that's what this is based around. But I don't know if you're using the live stream text, but there's a lot of pictures and memes and books and things that are getting thrown up in real time that coalesce with whatever the discussion is. So make sure you're checking that out as well.
Yeah, and someone else to check out, rest in peace, Rob Skiba, he was up there with Austin Whitsitt when it came to understanding biblical flat Earth and that kind of thing. And I mean, yeah, he's definitely up there. But he unfortunately was murdered in the hospital during the whole scamdemic situation. And he still has a lot of videos on YouTube you can check out because he didn't have to use the scriptures at all in order to prove flat Earth. But he was very out and out saying, yes, I'm a Christian, I'm a Bible believer, and, all of that stuff. So there are a lot of people out there that don't have to use the scriptures, but it's just sort of like I'm not sure if justify is the right word, but it helps support all of the physical, mathematical, observable evidence.
I see. All right.
Didn't we start out with you saying that you didn't believe the moon landings, right? Is that how this all started when you first started talking in here?
Yeah, I said that I didn't believe the moon landings. At least at the time. I'm not sure about now, but at the time I definitely believed it's not real.
That's a good foot in the door, man. That's how a lot of us started, was distrusting what we've been shown, because we can't prove them wrong or right. We have to trust them, you know what I'm saying? We have to have faith in these men that they're going to where they said they've gone and they're doing what they said they've done. But we can't confirm it. So that's kind of like a religion, you know what I'm saying? We have faith from what they've shown us, but what they've shown us is really bad video evidence, CGI, cartoons, and paintings. And they get $60 million a day. So, if that's not enough reason to lie. But anyways, you're already there, so I'm glad, man. Welcome.
60 plus million, so that's over $1 million a day from each state gone.
I think it's close to 80 million a day now.
You could literally fix the earth. You could fix all of our problems with that much money. But, if you wonder why some of us are a little militant or angry, that's one of the reasons.
Yeah, and I heard, Eric Dubay a long time ago when I first got into this, every American was having to pay like 7 cents a day or something like that towards NASA. And he's like, oh, it's just 7 cents a day? He's like, that's fine. I'll take my 7 cents a day back. And I was like, yep, me too.
I have a question. So the Christian guy in the server, do you know what branch of Christianity he follows?
There's not one Christian guy. There's literally thousands. We got 30,000
the one that you
plus
mentioned
people.
earlier. The one you mentioned earlier. Yeah,
Christianity isn't a branch; it's an understanding of
the
biblical
branch he
scripture.
follows, like Catholicism, Protestantism, Orthodox Christianity. Like, do you know which one he follows in particular?
He follows just the Bible, I think. It's as far as he kind of takes it. He doesn't go to church. He doesn't wear a crucifix. He doesn't call himself even religious. He just says...
non-denominational.
Reading scripture and discerning it and understanding it.
All right. Okay.
You son of a buck.
Yeah, ironically, it was the Catholic Church that brought us this whole space fairy tale. You know, they're supposed to be based around the Bible, but they're the ones who, them along with the Jesuits, brought us this entire heliocentric model that was taught to us as fact,
Oh,
even though
you
it's
guys are anti-Jesuit too?
Well, explain to him what you mean by that. The theory of the Big Bang was presented by a Catholic priest.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. I'll be back in a little bit. I want to definitely listen in, but I got to get back to my students right now. So I will.
All right, Dan.
I'll be back.
Later, bro.
And I want to say something at that time.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
Possibly. Sure. We'll go with that.
Are you aware of any measurements supporting this claim?
Well, what do you mean by measurements? Like, do I take the measurements, or like, have I seen other measurements?
Just aware of any.
Okay, who measured it to know that that object exists and is thus capable of casting a shadow in outer space?
What do you mean, who measured? It's the Earth. We are on it.
Right, so who measured it to know that it's a ball capable of casting the type of shadow that you claim it is during a lunar eclipse?
Multiple people.
Okay,
Multiple.
let's start with any.
What do you mean?
Let's start with any.
Okay. I'll start with one person I know, Kharazmi. Do you know who that is?
No, enlighten me.
Okay, so Kharazmi, he was a physicist during like the 13th century around then, and he proved that the Earth was a globe. Also, ancient peoples, the Mayans, the ancient Mayans, they
Wait, don't jump around. Don't jump. We're on Kharazmi, right? Kharazmi was a physicist.
You're not even pronouncing his
I'm
name.
with you as far as Kharazmi was a physicist in the 13th century. What did Kharazmi do to measure the globe?
He measured the trajectory of the Earth, the trajectory of the Moon, the trajectory of the Sun, the trajectory of Saturn, the trajectory of Jupiter. He put them all together, and when you put all those together, the only logical result, the only logical solution is that the Earth is a globe.
Gotcha, bitch! Outdoorsclaimer then left the server.
Bye.
What is your profession?
See, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.